Welcome everybody to my show, Crush. This is a very important show to me. It's my second ever art show. Thank you. It is pretty cool, I guess. I had my first one on Good Friday earlier this year, and have been working on every single piece here since then. Some of these were pieces that I've worked on prior to the show, but spent some time perfecting and making it as best as it can for this show. I've always had a pretty general idea of what I wanted to do with these shows and my work and the kind of story that I wanted to tell. Based on a character a lot of you have probably heard me talk about in excruciating detail many times before, the Bonnet Gawd. Some of you have looked through my notebook and seen the mad ramblings of a crazy person about this big old skeleton dude who wears a bonnet and shades and walks around spray painting everything, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And this show was supposed to be an extension of his story. Some things got switched around. This was supposed to be in a theater, in like a yeah, I know. Crazy. But some things didn't quite work out, and now we got this version of the show, which, if I'm being fully honest, is significantly better, because instead of having some crazy performance and lights and actors that I would have to pay in food because I'm broke, now I get to just be honest with you and tell you some truths about myself, and tell you a very personal story about my life. So as you can see, all of these pieces are a bunch of different women, 53 women, because there's 53 pieces here. And the original version of this story revolved around a guy who falls in love very easily. He falls in love with a lot of people very easily, very fast. And that causes a lot of static in his life, makes it difficult for him to truly figure out what love is and what that means to him and what that means to his life and his work. And in this version of the story, there's a character named Sina, who is the physical personification of his love. And whenever he says "I love you" to someone in a romantic way, she physically turns into that person and mentally kind of takes on attributes of that person. And the more he said "I love you" to these different people, she started losing herself more and more and more, because she stopped being just herself. She started being 53 different women to this guy. And the whole point of that story was supposed to kind of try to answer a question that I really don't know the answer to. What is love? What is true love? What does that mean? Is it attainable? Is that a thing? And when I wrote that show, I had an answer. But that answer don't really make sense, because I don't know what love is. It was going to be some pretentious artist, like, love is really the passion you feel for, nah, bro, I don't know. I actually don't know what love is. Let me get my notes out. So, as I said before, I don't really know anything about love, if I'm being honest. I don't know if any of us do. But I know of a time where I thought I was feeling love and got my heart broken because I misused it. I misused what I thought love was. Some of you have heard this story before, so don't spoil it for the rest of those who haven't, because it's one of them ones. So a few years ago in 2020, right around peak COVID times, there was a girl that I was really, really into. we met in a group chat, and we met in a group chat, and had whatever kind of relationship 18-year-olds can have over a group chat, because this girl lived in Texas, so I don't know how that was going to work out or what I thought was going to happen, but inevitably that fizzled out the way it would. And at the time I was so like pissed about it that I was like, I talked to my homie, and I was like, bro, you know what? I'm done, bro. I'm done with love, bro. I'm swearing off women, bro. I'm not doing this no more. I give up. I'm focusing on me till I graduate college, G. And he was like, yeah. Because mind you, he was also in a whatever kind of relationship you could be with somebody at 18 over a group chat with a girl in Boston. So it was like, we were both just like, hey, we're going to do what we got to do. And we were low-key on it. We were doing good, focusing on school and focusing on ourselves, and all of that was going great for 2 weeks when we got put in another group chat. And in that group chat, I met another girl. I thought I learned my lesson the first time, but I didn't. We talked in that group chat and got to know each other, I guess you could call it that, until one of our other friends put all of us in another group chat. Me, my homie, the girl, and some of her friends. And it was fine. It was fine for like a month. We were really vibing. We felt like we were really connecting with each other. She was weird, I was weird. And at COVID times, that's really as much as you could ask for a guy like, you know, like, hey, we're both weird, let's be weird together, yeah. So we figured out some dates we could go on, and a friend of mine actually referred to those as weasel dates, because we was like sneaking around trying to hang out as much as possible, and we weren't very open about the kind of relationship we were trying to have. But we found some times we could spend together. We would shop at the mall and go to IKEA. At 18, I don't know what we were doing in IKEA, but you feel me? We was there, we'd go roller skating, and I would beg my homie to because I didn't have a car at the time. I delayed getting my driver's license for a long time. This girl worked in Aurora, and I lived in Chicago Heights. So my homie, I was like, hey, bro, you got a car, right? Yeah. Bro, I want to surprise her at work, bro. Why? Because, bro, like, come on, just, you feel me? Just drive me there, bro. It's going to be cool. It's going to be great. You're going to have so much fun. At Cane's? Yeah, bro. It's going to be so, just come on, bro. Just come on. All right. He was a good friend. So he drove me all the way an hour and a half to Aurora. And I surprised this girl at work, and it was awkward because what was I about to do at Cane's? We just drove that far and there was nothing to do. So, yeah. But at that point, there was like a little shift in our relationship. It stopped being just like, oh, we're friends sneaking around trying to date and all this other stuff. It started becoming more like, dang, I think I might actually like you for real. Like dang, I might actually feel something outside of this COVID relationship stuff. Like, it was cool. And at that time, I was struggling a lot with my mental health. And it was just it was a depressing period. I couldn't see anybody really outside of this group. So that group kind of quickly became like a point of like joy for me, like a respite from the same walls I'm around all the time. And I love my family, but I mean, you feel me? y'all went through COVID too, so we know what that was like. And so one day, I skipped a pretty important part of So whenever I was feeling particularly down, she was kind of who I would talk to about it. You know, hey, I'm not feeling too good today. Oh, what's going on? You know, we'd have those kinds of conversations, and she'd make me feel better, and it was cool. And one day I was feeling particularly down, and I remember this conversation super distinctly because it's one of those things I'm probably gonna be thinking about for the rest of my life because it was a weird thing to say, you know. I was telling her, I was like, hey, so, you know, I think I'm a pretty cool guy. I'm very creative. I'm you know, affirmation sort of thing. But I don't think I love everything about myself, you know. I like a lot of myself, but I don't love everything about myself. And verbatim, she said, Chris, I love everything about you. And I was like, whoa. You said what? That was a thing, you know? I had been in a couple, like, you know, 12-year-old relationships because, you know, we were young and that didn't mean nothing. So, you know, I love you kind of means something different at 12 than it does at 18 when you're depressed and someone's like seeing all of you and saying that they love that, even the things you don't like. And after that day, the relationship kind of took another step up, you know, past just I like you and now like a dang, I really like you. You know what I'm saying? It was like she had me acting out of character, dog. I'm not a morning person. I'm not a morning person, and she had me waking up at 5 in the morning so we can get on FaceTime and watch the sunrise. Brother, what? Like, me? 5 in the morning? And I'm sneaking around the house because we had an alarm, so like, I had to go downstairs real quiet, make sure my dad don't, you know what I mean? Make sure he's not in his office. Hit the buttons. Dad, you heard that, right? Yeah, you're right. Of course. It's an alarm, bro. You're supposed to hear it. So, yeah, it was times like that. And, you know, we'd see each other and, you know, we'd hold hands and, you know, hug each other, and, you know, just meant something different, you know. And, yeah, it was a crazy time, man. It was a crazy time. And then eventually, you know, start off as a joke, little conversation me and my friend were having about like who's getting invited to our weddings, like in the group chat. Because mind you, it was like 5 of us, and we was only friends with each other, so it was like who's gonna be who at the wedding and all that. And she was present for that conversation. And it was like, man, woohoo, almost doxed him. Almost said the name, that was crazy. I was like, dog, you gonna be the best man, so-and-so, you gonna be the other part of the wedding. you gonna be so. And then I got a text message from her that was like, so who am I gonna be at the wedding? And I was like, you know. I was like, you know exactly who you're gonna be at the wedding. And then the conversation started being more like that. Stopped being like, hey, when can I see you? And more like, dog, so what's our colors gonna be? Like, what's our wedding gonna look like? What's our family gonna look like? Like, it got deep fast, very fast. Mine just all happening over a summer from like February to June. So it's like, man, yeah, it wasn't smart. It wasn't smart, but it was what it was at the time. And then one day, I was working at this summer camp, and I got a phone call from her, and I was like, huh, strange. Why is she calling me today at work? Because we knew each other's schedules. It was like that. So I was like, she wouldn't call me at work. That's weird. But you know, I picked it up when I could. I was like, yo, what's good? She was like, hey. I was like, oh, it's one of those combos. I don't I was like, hey, you all right? She was like, we need to talk. Oh, yeah, I heard that. Audience heard that. I know everybody got a little chill down your spine. Nobody likes hearing those words. And I was like, oh, what we gotta talk about? And long story short, yeah, it was one of those combos. It was that talk, and I was messed up for a while. This was right before I went to college the first time. So this was directly before I met some of my best friends in the whole world. And mind you, we were a group, bro. So that little shakeup messed up a lot for me. I still had the one friend I had from before, but I slowly started falling off with each member of that whole group. And weirdly enough, the fall off didn't really happen with her though, because we had to work another summer camp together for a week. And that whole week felt like we never had that conversation. So it was like, oh, she was just playing. it was just a, little hiccup. It is like that, whatever. But as soon as that week was over, right back. The conversation did happen. We just weren't in the real world for a week. And that was my first time, I think, fully understanding what like heartbreak was. That was my first time understanding that like feelings are something, man. Feelings mean something, man. You can't just be throwing certain words around because it means something, man. And it hurts to think about a lot. I've been going on a little self-discovery growth journey for the last, say, like a month or so. Trying to figure out who I am and, trying to figure out who I am. And this is one of those situations in life where I kind of come back to it because I don't know if I've fully healed off of that yet. And it's been a while, so, part of me was like, this is supposed to be over with. I shouldn't even be thinking about this no more. This shouldn't even be like I don't even talk to you. Like, I don't even see you. We have no connection. Why am I still, And, man, I think I'm far enough removed from the situation now to see that, like, I didn't love her how I thought I did back in that time. She didn't love me how we thought she did at the time. And the words of like, I love every part of you and stuff like that kind of, they mean something that isn't love, man. They mean obsession. I was obsessed with her to the point where all of my artwork was her. I mean, Dad, you remember there was a piece I was working on. It was her. It was just her face, but I was in like on this digital software, coloring pixel by pixel. Yeah, bro. You feel me? It was one of those. It was not a healthy time. It was not a healthy time. Yeah. All that to say, man, I don't know what love is, man. My one time thinking I knew what love was about was not it, bro. It was not love. It was a problem. It was a problem. And I felt the need to share this with you guys tonight during the show of art. Show of art, what? During the show about love, the art show about love. Missed the whole important word there. Because as I get older, and, you know, learn more, I guess. That's what you're supposed to do. I don't know. I want you guys to think about what love is to you, you know? Think about what it means to you. Think about who you actually feel it for. Think about its importance. Figure out if it's love, you know? Figure out what it is, man, because it's deep. You know? It's deep. Yeah, thank you for coming to my show. And I say this not loosely and very much so intentionally. I love everybody in this room. I love you all. You all have hit me in different ways, helped me in different ways. You guys are the best. And I love you. Have a good night.